Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map, and this video is inspired by this comment from Shamanka West I got on Instagram. And she writes, "Hi Kasia, I hope you're amazing. I had a few questions and thought of you. I was wondering what books, if any, non-tarot related, have impacted your tarot practice. Um, well, I am a believer that your tarot practice evolves with you. So I strongly recommend self-development and, reading different books and just in general be curious about life, because that means that you're going to be a better tarot reader, in my opinion. So when I thought of books, that are non-tarot related and that have impacted my tarot practice, that means to me that they impacted my life. And obviously there were a lot of books, so I couldn't pick all of them. But when I walked to my bookshelf, I saw a few that I thought, oh wow, this one definitely, So one that I wanted to mention is the documentaries, first of all, about Vali Meyers, and this memoir by Gianni Menichetti or Menichetti. She's one of my favorite artists, and she was an Australian. She lived for a very long time in Italy, in Naples or near Naples, in Positano, and she's an amazing artist and a brave woman who broke, all the rules, and just lived her life to the full. Um, Amazing artist, amazing woman. Um, Left so much work, loved animals, a witchy, amazing artist. So she definitely was a big influence on me, and she like opened me up creatively a lot. And I think when you have these books or people who impact you like this, that's really amazing. So another one would be the opposite of Vali, because Vali was free spirited, wild, loved animals, wore makeup. But Amma, the hugging saint, she also had a big impact on my life from another perspective, really taught me a lot about heart and from another angle, I loved books by John O'Donoghue. His Anamkara, which was amazing, this Eternal Echoes. When you go to Sound True or to Audible, you can purchase also his talks and his talks on beauty, on Celtic spirituality in general is beautiful. So I want to speak like this during my readings, just this amazing inclusiveness and amazing awareness and sensitivity to beauty that he brings in his books. It's so amazing. I loved reading books on psychology, Robert Johnson, um, Thomas More, James Hillman, Jane Houston, Woodman, a lot of people who I read. Care of the Soul is one of the beautiful book, very inspiring. Um, Also, I loved books on herbs and herbal healing, and just embracing, this aspect of the body. So not only this mental and emotional aspect, but also the bodily aspect. And I love this little book about Edward Bach, um, the creator of Bach flowers. I think it's pronounced Bach. It's not Bach, but everybody speaks Bach flowers, says Bach flowers. But yeah, I did once a workshop on it, and apparently it was Edward Bach. So he created the Bach flowers, but this book describes his life and how he came about to do it, and that's really inspiring too. And then one of my herbal teachers, Susan Wheat, she really changed the way I think about healing. And this book, Wise Woman Tradition, Healing Wise, it's really highly recommended. Very cool how she twists the perspective on healing, that you don't destroy, you don't, fight the illness, but you strengthen and embrace. That's what's good. The healing, you bring the healing to the body. Also, another one is Gail Faith Edwards. She's got a beautiful website, this Healing Hearts It's just a herbal book, but it's just beautifully written, so I loved reading it. And she also wrote the Mary book now, so she goes to Italy. These are people who are very versatile and just, like Renaissance people. I love those. And also another one is Juliette de Bairacli Levy, and she is amazing. So if you find any of her books, like Nature Children, it's so cool how she raised her kids. Herbal books, Gypsy in New York, but there's a beautiful documentary about her, and it's called Juliet of Herbs. And I think you can find it maybe on YouTube or somewhere, but yeah, it's amazing. So highly recommend this one as well. I love reading books about, spirituality, very often herbs. So Meister Eckhart or Clarissa Pinkola Estes, this is her, it's in Polish, but it's the freeing the, no, what is it? Anti the Strong Woman in English, but her Women Run with Wolves, but also a lot of her talks. I used to love listening to the talks, but also Hildegard von Bingen, lots of different books. So I hope that answers your question a little bit. And then the next question you asked is, have you encountered any other non-tarot tools that greatly impact the way you read and journey with the cards? I use my wands, but not maybe that wands impact how I read, but I empower certain messages with the wands, as with the crystals. But I love using these. The wand made a sound. I love using this sound. Chimes in my reading. So if there is anyone who got a reading from me watching, they probably recognize these, because I very often, if not always, use, maybe not always, but very often I use the sounds, especially when I want to strengthen or give somebody also a little bit of sound healing. So I think that's definitely one of my most used. I also like using, scent, and I know that I often record videos, but I do feel that the intention, the scent, the sound, it gets into people's etheric field anyway. So I do believe in distant healing. Um, so yeah, color, crystals, empowered tools, um, and just your creativity. You can draw, you can do something. So but these tools, crystals, sound, and wands, it's what I would use in my readings to enhance the reading, but I wouldn't say that they impact the way I read. And the last question was on astrology. So did your trip to Egypt impact your astrology practice? I don't think it impacted my astrology practice. I think it, just showed me or added another layer to my understanding of the world. So in some way, it's opened me up. So and opened my practices as well. But no, here the question is simple. It didn't impact how I read astrology or how I understand astrology. I have been studying astrology since 2005. So it's what now, 14 years, and I still feel like a student, there's still so much to learn. But I also discovered that I, over the years, have created a certain style of how I read and what I like to read and what I think it's important, especially for the first, introduction, like my life purpose readings. That's what I usually consider to have to be like my astrology readings. That's where I speak about your potentials, about your Chiron, about your nodal axis. So all this juicy stuff, which kind of generally describes your highest potential, your blockages, what your life lessons are, and that's basically your life purpose also, right? So I speak also about the jobs and stuff, but it's much more deeper than just your talents, which, when it comes to jobs. So I think that answers your questions, at least in a certain form. But thank you for asking this. This is fun. If anyone has any more questions to me, just drop them in the comments here or shoot me, a DM or email on and or on IG or on Facebook or here. It would be lovely to connect, and maybe if I get more questions, I create like a Q&A, which I've never done. But thanks for asking, Shamanka West. All my love for you, and I speak to you soon. I see you on IG. Bye.